Hello Pisces, welcome. Thank you for coming back to my channel if you're a returning subscriber. If you're new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy the reading. Please don't forget to like and share or like and subscribe. This is a general reading, so some or all of it may apply to you, or it could also apply to somebody that you are close to at this time, or somebody that's in your environment. If you have strong influences in your birth chart associated with another sign, like you find that your ascendant is really appropriate, or your moon sign or your Venus, then cross-watch to my other videos to get more insights and information. I work with the 12 houses of the zodiac. So as the cards are appearing in each house, and those are the cards that are, those are the influences that are coming to bear at this time. I've already shuffled and laid out the cards, so let's start. Okay, so in the first house we have lunar eclipse change. So the first house is everything to do with the self, your appearance, your physical body, your vitality. It's also your personal independence, how you make your way outwards in the world, and your self-oriented interests. It's also, how other people perceive you. So your observable characteristics, your personality, and also what you project outwards to them. So how they perceive you, what you're projecting, but it's all to do with yourself, your own physical self. So now with lunar eclipse change coming in, it's bringing exactly that, some sort of abrupt change coming in for you, whether this is physically, or it could be on your outlook or the way you are, moving forward at the moment. So some sort of abrupt change comes about, which could then also just be a complete change of direction. So a new direction, some sort of new perspective or attitude, how you look at yourself, and also what you're projecting outwards. But whatever the change is that's coming for you at this time, it's inevitable and it's necessary. These are all cycles that we go through. This is very much a cycle that is coming to bear here. So whatever comes up for you, and it shifts you forward, or it shifts you into a new direction, or some sort of new attitude, it is inevitable and it is necessary in order to bring growth. So this could also be something that you've known about, something that has kind of sort of been bubbling under the surface at this time. It's sort of been there, you just haven't quite had the full understanding of it, or you haven't been able to pull all the threads together yet, but it's going to come up now, it's going to bubble over. So it's been on a simmer, it's been around, but now it's bubbling over. So this kind of abrupt change, or this bubbling over, is going to create some kind of upheaval, some kind of turmoil, where you're going to be feeling out of your comfort zone. Initially, everybody does when you go through shifts and changes like this. So you will, the old and familiar kind of falls away, and it's that transition period where you now got to sort yourself out and find other ways to do things. It will require effort to get yourself onto firmer footing, to start to feel comfortable again. So it's that transitionary period. Whatever the upheaval is, or the change that comes upon you, it can wrap up within 6 weeks, or it can continue sort of unfold over a period of 6 months. It also could be just something new coming to the surface. Something comes up, it could be dramatic, it could be very unexpected. It creates a bit of upheaval. It could be the ending of something and the beginning of something else, or the end of a chapter and a new chapter now coming in. But there are cycles involved. Something could also just be dissolving. So as I said, it's something that you've kind of been aware of, but not fully. And it could be dissolving to make way for new things now. You may have memories and a bit of nostalgia about it, or be thinking about, reflecting on your memories while all this is going on. But whatever it is that comes about, what it will do is it will get you to where you need to be. And it's just that transitionary period can feel very uncomfortable and unsettling while it's unfolding. Then in the second house we have Yard Destiny. So your second house is your house of your income. So this is your money coming in. It's also the house of your self-worth and your values. And all of these are kind of integrally connected. And with the Yod Destiny card coming in, I feel this is coming up from this first house card. It's kind of spilling over into various other aspects of your chart. But there's going to be some kind of disruptive energy going on in this house. There's a bit of stress, a bit of tension, but it's just you've got to keep going through all of that upheaval and turmoil or whatever is going on around you. You just have to keep on, moving forward. You may just be feeling out of step with others at this time, but that is kind of necessary, because then what it does is it forces you to go inward, to consult your own inner self and plot your own course, because that's really what this is about. This is about sort of digging deep to find your own truth, what works for you, what isn't working for you. You may be working alone at this time or feeling alone in some way, and you just need to figure out what isn't working. So some sacrifices might be needed, and it's also going to require you to be adaptable in some way. So, when it comes to your value systems, this could be sort of all forms of ownership as well. So this is all your possessions, real estate, land, property of all kinds. So maybe you're having to shift things in that environment, or you're having to let go of some possessions because you don't need them anymore. It's not working for you. You must really have around you what is working for you. Streamline your finances, your income, and redirect it. Perhaps it needs redirecting at this time. So some sacrifices will be needed, and you're going to have to be adaptable to fully access this card and the energy that it brings. But it's about finding your own truth, and trusting that everything will work out as it's supposed to. I feel this is also tying in with your 8th house, because you have uncertain circumstances going on in your 8th house as well, which is the house of big finance. So whatever is going to go down for you in your first house is going to spill over into these two houses. So it looks like your finances are going to be getting an overhaul. There's some kind of rearrangement going on. And the two are connected. But this is the destiny card. So whatever is coming for you in this house is something that's kind of fated. So you're not going to be able to force things. You're just going to have to keep working through all the whatever's going on, and keep yourself together, and follow your own inner truth. Then in the 3rd house, we have Scorpio, I transform. So your 3rd house is your house of communication. This is all forms of communication, written, verbal, body language. It's also contracts and documents. And this can be communication with the world in general, the public, or people people around you, or it could be with specific family members. So that's aunts, uncles, cousins, relatives, siblings, even neighbors. Your neighborhood comes into the 3rd house as well. So it's your local environment. Early education is also indicated, any form of learning. So with Scorpio transform coming in, this is yet another self-analysis card. I feel, as I said, it's coming from that initial shift that you're having in your first house. It's going to be spilling over, as I said. So how you're going to be communicating with others is going to be also important. So there's a self-analysis going on there. This is a testing time. You may have to just keep your emotions under control at this time, but you could find that hidden things and hidden feelings are coming to the surface at this time. So this could be emotions, secrets, resentments. You could also just not being taken in at this time. So this is how you could be projecting. You're just not going to be taken in by anybody at this time. You could be feeling a bit suspicious about circumstances. So it's a sort of a difficult time, and it's a time to protect your reputation as well. So you could be standing alone on certain issues. Money matters are going to be important. So taxes, property, assets, inheritances, anything to do with that is all going to come up for review with this card. It's about being resourceful. So you're going to have to be resourceful and protective of what you have worked hard for. There could also be renewal or regeneration of something in this house. So perhaps you're renewing contact with somebody, it could be a family member or somebody else, or you're regenerating something. It could be something to do with a contract or a document, as I said. Or it could just be that you are undergoing some kind of regeneration from a communication point of view, how you conduct yourself, how you express yourself in the outer world. But in order to get there, you're going to have to address sort of your your deeper feelings about things. There could be secrets swirling around you in this house, or just things coming out into the open, really. So just be aware of all of those issues in this house at the time. Then in the 4th house, we have air element communicating. So now with all of this going on in the first 3 houses, how you are in your home life is going to be important. So the 4th house is everything to do with your physical home, your actual, bricks and mortar, or wherever it is that you live. But it's also the atmosphere in the home, the people in your home, and also your relationship with your ancestry, your roots, your foundation, your your family tree, your ethnic identity, whatever is appropriate for you, your ancestry, however that comes in for you. So it's your relationship with that. For some people, that's quite traumatic or difficult. So with air element communicating coming in, this is an air card. So it's everything to do with communication of all kinds. So it's doubly important now. With this coming in, especially with this other stresses and tensions going on in your other houses, what you say and how you say it is going to be really, really, really important. So be careful. Use positive words. Think positive thoughts, and then use positive words in relation to that. So use your words for good. Think positive and speak positive at this time will go a long way to negate any sort of difficult circumstances. Put into words what you want and what you expect. You're going to have to think things over as well, think things through. So this is a card of weighing up everything, evaluation. You may need to be logical and objective at this time. Fairness also comes in with this card. You could also be gaining clarity or some sort of solution for matters in this house. You could also be receiving news of some kind. Perhaps a visitor is coming to you and they're bringing news, or that somebody from afar, from a long distance, is coming to visit you at this time. It's significant in some way. It could also be that you are having some sort of upgrade in your home environment. So perhaps in your actual physical home, you are changing things. And this is regarding technology and electronics, some sort of upgrade, because this is all about, like the internet and communication of all kinds. So you could be changing things to do with that in your home. And it's very well indicated with the air element as well. This the card is also the card of manifestation. So as I said, positive thoughts, positive words, with anything to do with the 4th house at this time. It could also be that in your physical home you need to cleanse the air in some way. So you need to clear the air or cleanse the air. And this is why your words are important, but also your actions here. So, perhaps saging your home, burning certain herbs, whatever it is that you can find to actually clear the air in your home, cleanse the environment, and so on, to lift the energy levels in your home environment. Then in the 5th house, we have Sagittarius IC. The 5th house is your house of all sort of fun, recreational and romantic activities, having fun, just enjoying yourself, pleasurable activities of all kinds, okay? It's also the house of love affairs. It's the house of your creativity, and it's also the house of children, your children, but it could be also children that you're associated with at this time. So with Sagittarius IC coming in, I think what it is asking you to do is to sort of free yourself up from your normal routines at this time. So freedom from routines is going to be key. And that is going to lift you up and actually give you a change of perspective as well on what's going on. So change it up. Find an adventurous activity or an explorative activity, something fun, outgoing, get out in the outdoors. It could be sporty, just something to move your body and have a change of scenery and get out into nature. Sagittarians love all of that. It could also be that, you may be receiving some sort of lucky break in some way in this house, whether it's you or your children, some sort of lucky break coming in. And it could be that you need to change up your activities with your children, or your children need to change up their activities. But it could be you doing this in conjunction with them to sort of lift the energy levels around you. It could also be that studying is important with this card coming in, creating, even travel, planning some sort of travel activity, or just traveling around in general. But study may be indicated, and this may be to do with your children at this time, or you may want to take up an activity which involves studying. With Sagittarius, I see coming in, it's also about being very honest with yourself and with those around you, and speaking your truth. In a kind way, but speaking your truth nonetheless. You may also be required to be quite broad-minded at this time. This is one thing about Sagittarius I see as part of being broad-minded. So, looking at changing up your attitudes, changing up your routines, and changing up your views on things as well will go a long way to help you in this house. But it's got an adventurous quality to it, so I feel get out with your children or get out yourself and enjoy some kind of pleasurable activity which has got an adventurous element to it. Then in the 6th house, we have Jupiter return benefits. 6th house is your house of work, your workplace, your work colleagues. It's also your work routines and mastery of your craft, whatever it is that you do. It's also the house of health and diet and lifestyle, and the house of pets, your pets. So with Jupiter return benefits, it's bringing in very nice energy. It's a lovely card to have in this house. So because it's a Jupiter return, something from between 10 to 12 years ago, something that you thought was dead or buried or kind of shelved, some idea or some opportunity or some kind of work project perhaps, something from a while back, normally about 10 to 12 years, that was kind of shelved and never really came to anything. Well, something from that could come back now to bear fruit. So this is something from the past coming back to bring you benefits in some way. So it's a lovely card to have, so keep a lookout for that. But it is also about doors opening for you, opportunities. Perhaps you're going to have a change of work, but it's quick. Whatever opportunity is going to come for you in this house, it will be quick. With a return, it doesn't last very long. So ensure that whatever opportunities come to you in this house, you follow them up and you work them as far as they will go, because not all of them will bring you what you want, but there may be something in there which will bring you something, some aspect that you would like to bring into your life at this time. So it's about dreams manifesting as well. It's the yes or the green light card, so doors opening for you. And it could also indicate rescue of some kind, so rescue from a difficult situation or from a difficult period that you've been in your work environment. Or just rescuing a situation which everybody thought had gone, had died, and it kind of brings it back to life again. It could also be that you're tackling, in order to further yourself in your work, you need to go back to university or some form of adult education. That could be coming in for you as well. Publishing is indicated with this card, but it's a very positive card, a very positive influence coming in for you. And as far as health and diet and lifestyle goes, it could be that you are solving or resolving an old issue. So the solution or some kind of remedy, some sort of cure comes back for you now to settle this issue, something that has kind of dogged you for the last few years. When it comes to diet, just be careful with this card coming in. Avoid overindulgence of all kinds, because Jupiter can do that. So it's like just reckless indulgence, eating lots of sugary foods. Weight gain can be indicated with this if you're enjoying yourself, which will happen with the Jupiter return card as well. This is also, because it's your 6th house, it's also connected to your 12th house, which is the house of the unconscious, which has also got a very positive card in it. So whatever, these two are linked in some way. So it could be just that your mindset, or you're being lifted subconsciously about certain things, and doors are opening for you. It could be a change of changing something up in your mindset, then opens doors for you in your 6th house as well. So the two are interconnected. Then in the 7th house, we have Virgo, I analyze. So the 7th house is your house of relationships, your personal one-on-one close personal relationships, but it can be a relationship, or it could be a business partnership as well. So now with this coming in, what it brings in the energy of some sort of housekeeping going on in this house. So this is something to do with streamlining, kind of having a good look at everything to work out what it is that you need to do. So it's kind of a cleanup, really. That's basically what it is, a declutter, an emotional declutter, and it could also be an environment declutter. Perhaps you and your in your relationship, in your home, with your love relationship, or even in a business partnership, there needs to be a decluttering of some kind going on. So as I said, whether it's emotions or whether it's in the environment, just things piling up, clear out the clutter, streamline your environment, and that will lift the energies as well between you and in your home environment, and in the relationship that you have with this person. So get organized. With all the streamlining and seeing what is working and what is not working, with all of that comes the balance between being helpful and useful in your advice and your actions, and also reliable. So you're balancing that with the other Virgo trait, which is often wallowing in worries or overthinking things. Also criticism and nitpicking can come in. So you need to balance this in this house. So try and aim for the more positive aspect, which is the helpful and useful advice or actions. Be reliable. If you need to streamline and you need to declutter and you need to clean up the energies or what is going on between you, then do it in a helpful and useful way. All right. So avoid the nitpicking and the criticism and the over worrying about everything, because that will not help you at this time. The whole point of this card is to get organized, clean up your environment. It could also be aspects of your home. So this could be allergens or toxins or substances in your home or between you in this relationship, wherever it is that you are together, which is going to create health issues. And any health issues, you need to overcome them. So just clean out your cupboards, get rid of heavy cleaning, products that you've got. Try and go the natural route, clear out the toxins, have a thorough clean up the air in your home, and also any kind of issues with medicines or drugs or alcohol, anything like that. Clear it up, sort it out, because otherwise it's going to affect your relationship in an unhealthy way. And that's what the Virgo energy is. It's a very clean, uncluttered, organized environment, and that will go a long way to assist this relationship. Then in the 8th house, we have Black Moon Lilith mystery. So as I said, the 8th house is connected to your 2nd house. Both of these are money houses. So your 8th house, and it's also the deeper relationship house as well. This is the committed partnership. So 8th house covers deeper committed partnership or relationship. It's the sexual side of that, and it's sex in general. It's also the house of endings and beginnings, and rebirth in various ways. It's also the house of big finance. So this is your investments, insurances, taxes, banking, accounting, assets, and also any kind of inheritances or legacies, anything like that. So with the Black Moon Lilith mystery card coming in, I feel with all these other changes going on in the early part of your chart, it's like there are unknown factors in this house at the moment. So you're in a sort of a pause period while you wait and see what is going on, because not everything is clear. There are factors that are just not known at this time. So unknown factors, not all is clear. It's almost like you're waiting for something to happen. There are undercurrents going on in this house as well. So undercurrents, you're aware of them, you're there, but you just can't quite see what it is. It also may be that you need to stand firm on something, so not giving up on something as well. This card can also bring in issues around control of your deeper emotions, or the other person that you're involved with at this time. So control of deep emotions. And these are, because essentially if you're in a relationship, whether it's a business or a love relationship, you are merging yourselves. So you're merging your emotional and material resources into some sort of unit. And sometimes when that happens, sort of certain emotions get out of control or they go deep. And these are all stemming mostly from fear. So it's fear, anger, envy, rebellion almost. In some cases, it's revenge. There's bitchiness, there's bitterness going on there. There may even be feelings of being slighted or overlooked in some way, like not chosen, So that could come in. So either you're seeing it in your close to you, or you're seeing it in your environment at this time in this house. And it could be coming up at this time. So just be aware of that and keep it under control. Control is all important with this card. Then in the 9th house, we have solar eclipse revolution. So 9th house is your, it's quite a broad house. It carries a lot of weight. It's got everything to do with international. So anything foreign comes up in this house. So this could be foreign travel or international travel. It's also about adventure and exploration of all kinds, all right? So your personal adventurous nature, your adventurous side, what you want to do in that exploration of all kinds, whether it's mental or physical. And this is about finding meaning. That's what this house is about. It's also to do with import, export, anything foreign, meeting foreign people, foreign concepts, foreign beliefs, foreign cultures, exposure to all of that. University education comes into this house, and also adult education. And it's also the house of philosophy, religion, belief systems, and everything around that. It's also the house of teaching, publishing, promotional work of all kinds, the law, so the legal system, and also the higher courts. And if it's applicable for your relationship to your in-laws. So gaining wisdom in all of these areas, however it applies for you. So now with solar eclipse revolution, that's exactly what it says. You're going through some kind of rapid change or upheaval in this house. Perhaps you're changing your university course, or something is going down there, or you are relocating. You could be relocating to an international place, but you're on unfamiliar ground with this. This is a kind of a wake-up call. That's what this card brings in. It's a wake-up call. It's a sudden download of unfamiliar. So this is a new path or a direction that you're now moving in, but you get moved there, whether you like it or not, breaking old patterns to make way for new things. So you could be learning new things. So something old is falling away, something old and familiar, and you're now learning new things. You could be facing the unknown in some way here, and if you are relocating, that is what you will be doing. It's also about self-mastery and everything to do with that. So whatever is coming up in this house, you will have the opportunity to master it for yourself. You could also be required to fix or change something to create better in this house. So changing something, it could even be your belief system, or your religion, or your philosophy on life. It could even be an international trip which you were planning suddenly has changed now, and you're going somewhere else. So it really is it's a fix and change to create better, or you will be going through some unfamiliar upheaval where things you now have to strike out into a new path or a new direction. But it's a wake-up call, and it's a change of old patterns into new. Then in the 10th house we have Libra eye balance. So your 10th house is your house of career, fame, reputation, and your public status. It's also the house of authority figures, whether these are in your home or in your work environment, your career, however. But it's somebody that you look up to. It could even be a mentor, or some sort of guru, or a sort of a guidance, or sort of somebody that you work with. But it's so it's all of those aspects that all falls under your 10th house. Now with a Libra eye balance, That's what you're going to be aiming for in this house, is balance in all things. But there are quite a few other things that come with this card as well. And Libra is the sign of partnership. So it's going to serve you well at this time to link up with another, to form a partnership of some kind. It's going to help you at this time. So link up with a partner, gain mutual support, form an alliance. Merging comes in with this card as well. So, but with whatever's going on in that merging, you need to balance both of your needs. So your needs and the other person's needs. You can't put your needs aside to avoid conflict. You actually need to have both of them represented equally. This card is about fairness. It's about negotiation. And a decision needs to be made as well. So, you may have been sitting on the fence about something actually, but a decision will need to be made, and it's best you make it and don't leave it up to the universe to make it on your behalf, because you may not like the result. So take charge. As I said, negotiation, mediation, all of that comes in with this card. Also observing the rules and fairness. Legal issues may come up with this as well. If you're considering a change of career, or you're perhaps involved in any one of these industries, these will be highlighted. So that's anything to do with the beauty industry, fashion, the arts. It's all about creativity and artistic abilities as well. So all of those are indicated with this card. So you could be changing and going into that, or you're using it as an additional aspect to yourself, or you are enjoying some sort of enhancement in that at this time in your 10th house. Then in the 11th house, we have Jupiter Abundance. So another Jupiter card coming in for you. So lovely card. Your 11th house is your house of friendships. Okay, so you could have a Jupiter type friend coming in for you. So it's the house of friendships. It's also the house of your personal hopes and dreams, your wishes for yourself. It's also your self-oriented interests, like your hobbies and your whatever is of interest to you. And it's also the house of your contacts and networks and groups, where you are a member of a group of all kinds, any kind of group. So with Jupiter Abundance coming in, this is bringing in luck and good fortune for you. So it could be bringing that in via sort of, good friendships, really supportive friendships at this time, or just some sort of lucky break for you and another, or perhaps you're seeing this in a good friend of yours. But in any aspect of the 11th house, it's all about doors opening, benefits and opportunities coming in for you. It could also be that you have a really generous, joyful friend, or somebody coming in to just rescue you from the depths if you're feeling a bit down at the moment, but a really joyful and abundant friend. It could also be that divine help is coming in for you. So this is a kind of a friendship with heaven, if you know what I mean, where you're going to receive divine help or relief over something. Perhaps you've been through a difficult period, which is kind of indicated here in the chart, and divine help comes in, but it also brings in faith and strength to get through whatever needs to be gotten through. And this could come via a group or a contact or a friendship, something like that. Blocks are being removed. So if you've been having a difficult period in any one of the 11th house issues, the blocks are going to be removed. But you will need to anchor whatever abundance comes in for you with this card, because it brings abundance. So whatever comes in for you in whatever way, shape or form, you're going to need to anchor it in for you. And that does require effort on your behalf. Okay. So whatever blessings are coming for you, you need to work to anchor them. This card can also bring in a sense of purpose in some way. So the 11th house does also cover group consciousness and global consciousness, social reform and causes. So you may just find that you are interested in now in some sort of social cause, and that gives you that sense of purpose. So it could come in that way for you at this time. Then in the 12th house, we have another lovely card, part of fortune increase. So as I said, the 12th house is connected to your 6th, which is your house of work, health and diet. And there's an increase, some sort of success here is indicated. So whether this is success with your unconscious beliefs, that perhaps you're now overcoming some self-sabotage and you're now finding your way out of that, or you're just finding success with something in your 12th house, it will affect your 6th house and vice versa. So 12th house is your house of the unconscious, your unconscious beliefs and motivations, your drives, what drives you, whether you know them or not. It's also the house of your where you go to retreat and reflect. Okay, so when you need to have a break, whenever you need to retreat and withdraw, you go to your 12th house. It's also the house of your spiritual life, meditation, mysticism, and healing. It also covers escapism and everything associated with that, which can be drugs and addictions as well. But escapism in general. So this can just be a brief escape to get away from things, and then you come back and carry on. It's also the house of service to others. Okay, so this could be in some sort of social reform that you're busy with, or something that you now want to devote your time to. It's the house of karmic lessons, and it's also the house where you meet your twin flames, sort of those very deep connections. So it can also cover your visits and experiences to institutions of all kinds. You could be going there, or you could be going there with another. But it's institutions of all kinds would be universities, libraries, government institutions, hospitals, museums, even prisons, any kind of institution. It's your experiences there and what you learn. Okay, so now with Part of Fortune Increase, very nice card coming in for you. This is bringing in, I feel it's bringing in overcoming something and the release of that. So it's an increase in, a better frame of mind, a better view of things. It's also success in some way. And it could also be with some sort of service work that you're involved in, and you're now getting the success that you want from that. It could also be, as I said, with an institution. Perhaps you're visiting that for some reason. There's success there. There's recognition. There's respect and opportunity coming out of this card. So it's a good time to take advantage of a very good flow in this house. So it's moving ahead in some way. You could be receiving gifts and rewards in this house, and your needs are met when this card comes into your house as well. It could also be that your hidden talents are starting to emerge now. So these could be talents that you perhaps didn't acknowledge or you didn't know about. They're now starting to rise to the surface, and that could be triggered by some karmic event. So hidden talents rising to the surface. And so this is like your pot of gold, really, something that wasn't ever really harnessed. And if you notice that happening, some sort of ability or talent, then you need to capitalize on it. You may need to learn more about it, so study further, and that's where your experiences with the institutions come in, so that's universities and so on. So you need to study further, harness that hidden talent or ability. But whatever's coming to you in this house, it's destiny, it's fated. It could even be a relationship, as I said, some sort of twin flame relationship. It's a destiny card, so something is fated coming in for you. Good health is normally indicated with this card as well. So it's a very, very positive card. Learning, exams, success in that, teaching, public relations, all of these things are well indicated. There's recognition and respect and rewards of some kind in this house. Okay, Pisces, I hope you enjoyed that. Please don't forget to like and share, or like and subscribe. As soon as you do that, then it escalates the reading to other people to read as well through YouTube. I hope you have a wonderful month, and take care, and I will see you next time.